brace yourself. We're going in blind to taste what are in these glasses and give you the most honest opinions possible. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. Thank you for joining us today. If you are a regular viewer, you might notice something a little bit different about me. I got braces now.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm sitting right here and I barely notice them until you smile.
Well, it'd be weird if I, didn't acknowledge it, you know, and everybody's like, wait, what? But anyways, if you're new here, we're just a couple, Erin, a social sipper, myself, the whiskey nerd among us. And we taste things completely blind so that you get the most honest opinions possible. And we do it from the standpoint of real world whiskey consumers. We see how this fares, what we think about it without knowing what it is, and if we would put our money on this product, knowing the price when we find that out before we find out what we're drinking. So it's definitely a different way of doing things, but we really like it because, like we said, it's fun for us and it gives you the most honest opinions without any bias.
Absolutely.
We drew this sample right here at random from our blind sample pool full of a bunch of different products. It's in a clear jar, so we know that it's a bourbon or a rye, but that's all we know about it.
All we know.
And I could probably have guessed that that's what it was just looking at the color on it, but let's get into the nose and we're going to smell it, taste it, tell you what we think about it, give it some ratings, and then we'll find out price and react to that before we find out what we're drinking.
Oh.
Ooh, she smells sweet.
It smells interesting.
It smells very bourbon-y to me.
It smells corn-esque.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, to me, I'm just getting like a lot of really classic bourbon flavors, but it's a little fruit forward and it's like bright fruit.
Interesting.
It's almost hard to identify any specific fruit.
It's not a dark smell.
Yeah, it's almost like a fruit cocktail type of thing.
Mm-hmm. For me, I'm getting dried corn husks.
Interesting.
Like I used to work in a old-timey store and make corn husk dolls in the general store. Like a reenactment village when I was a teenager, and I would make corn husk dolls in the general store.
That is definitely something you would do.
It was so fun. I got to wear a pretty red dress and it swirled.
I did not work in a reenactment village and wear a red dress and see how it swirled, but
it was beautiful.
I will say this glass swirls nice. Let's get it down the hatch. Nose seems pretty promising.
Oh, okay. This tastes sweet. This tastes sweeter on the palate than I got on the nose.
I got your corn husk now.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow, interesting how we kind of flip-flop.
Yeah. Wow. That's really interesting.
The finish isn't sweet, though. It's weird for me. The sweetness was up front, and the finish is not sweet.
And this thing just glided over my tongue and disappeared.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't get a lot out of that sip.
Well, let's take another first sip. Yeah, this tastes like sweet corn with alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, it does have a very corn-forward sweetness.
I might have put that in your head.
No, it's got a caramel corn type of thing going on.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I'm getting, except a little bit of heat on the back of the palate, like an ethanol heat, along with a little bit of oak.
Okay.
But that's kind of the whole pour, is just like kind of a corn sweetness with a little bit of caramel, and then a little bit of heat and a little bit of oak on the back palate. I'm not getting a lot else than that, other than the fact that you could call it silky, but I wouldn't call it smooth because it's got that ethanol heat on the
burn.
back.
It's not like a spice. Like I'm getting like an alcohol burn. I would say this is probably 1.5 dimensional of a pour. There's like a little something else, but it's not super complex, which is lovely if that's what you want. Like that's the thing. There's a place in the market for non-complex pours. Yeah. So I think for me today, I am going to give this just okay, just because I want something, honestly, a little bit darker. This is a little bright and a little brash. I want something darker and sweeter. Yeah,
I mean, I think I'm in the same place. I'm going to go just okay. It's not that it's bad, other than if that little bit of ethanol on the back end upsets you or puts you off. It doesn't me. It's not enough to make me not want to drink it, but the way I think of glasses is thumbs down would be if I was at a friend's house and they handed me a glass, I wouldn't even want to finish it. Just okay is I would finish it, but I'd be looking to move on to the next thing. I don't really need another glass of it. Thumbs up is I would enjoy that glass for everything it was worth, and 2 thumbs up would be like, I want to take my buddy's bottle home.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely, I would enjoy this glass if poured it, but I wouldn't ask for another one. So I'm just okay.
All right, we're going to find out the price and see if that changes how we feel or not. But I'm going to say that this feels to me like it might be craft, and it seems to be 100-ish proof, maybe a little bit less than that to my palate.
Did you say you were just okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that.
And like price wise, I mean, $50. Like I would want this to be $50 or less, personally speaking.
Yeah.
So number 61 in our pool price is
more than $50. It's $100.
I don't love that.
I don't love that either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even need to take another sip. I'm not going to go thumbs down because it's not off-putting. It's generally sweet. It's got a little bit of stuff going on to it. Like if it was fully one-dimensional for 100, I'd be thumbs down.
I mean, I have to go thumbs down.
Because you just
Because I absolutely would
not
not buy a bottle. And so if I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I would not put my money on this bottle. I would take that $100 and buy another bottle of something else.
That's fair. There's 50 other bottles that I would buy before I bought this for $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might be the first time I'm going thumbs down, specifically because of the value.
Yeah. Like,
not because I dislike what's in the glass.
Yeah. I don't dislike what's in the glass. It's fine. But I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah, I don't, that corny sweetness is not, that ain't, I mean, full disclosure, we warmed up our palates before this tasting. We always do that before blind tastings, just to make sure that things taste the way they're supposed to taste. We warmed our palates up with Wild Turkey 101 8-year, the 70th anniversary. And that's $50. I would buy 2 bottles of that before I bought 1 bottle of this.
Yeah, fair.
Just personally speaking. So, all right, what are we drinking?
We are drinking Widow Jane Lucky 13. It's
All right.
93 proof. And you forgot to note who the sample was from.
Okay.
So someone sent us the sample. Whoever you are, thank you.
Thank you.
We do not know, but if it was you, let us know.
This is why we have a new rule that anybody that sends samples has to put their name on the sample jars.
Please, you don't have to. But
Yeah.
please, it would be helpful because we get a lot of samples and Josh will store them and then we'll find them again or he'll pull them out again.
Yeah.
And we don't know who they're from.
I don't have the best storage system, so
Yeah,
it's
no.
a little bit of like organized chaos.
So real quick, can you just tell me a little bit about Widow Jane? I've heard
Yeah.
of that brand, but I don't know a lot about it.
I believe they're out of New York.
Okay.
And I don't think they have any of their own distillate. I think it's all sourced.
Okay.
You're seeing it on the screen if that information is available or you've already seen it. Used to be female owned. I think the distiller for them has moved on, or the blender for them has moved on. I think maybe they were acquired by Heaven Hill or something like that. I'm sure somebody in the comments below will fill all this in because we're doing this real time. This isn't scripted or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, they take products, they blend them, they use some Tennessee whiskey in there, and maybe that's that like kind of corny funk that we're getting.
Maybe.
It might be a little bit of George Dickel in there because it is 13 years old.
I tend to like Dickel pretty much, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that this didn't necessarily specifically jump out as Dickel. It jumped out a little bit more like well done craft to me. And craft can have a funkiness to it, kind of like a grainy corn funkiness. Dickel can have a little bit of minerality and some funkiness related to it there as well. But now that I know what it is,
I wouldn't say I got funkiness from it. I detected like corn notes, but like a kernel of corn, like a canned corn that you get and you dump and you warm it up and you eat it. Like not the actual hard grain. I mean, I know the corn kernel is a grain, but you know what I mean.
Now knowing what it is, and I just took a sip of it, I can ID the Dickel in there. What I would say is that if you were ever curious about this Lucky 7 13, what is it? Not Lucky
number 13?
Not Lucky 7. I'm sorry. That's not right.
Widow Jane. Lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. The price tag is high. What I would recommend doing is getting a George Dickel 15-year store pick, a single barrel selection from a store if it's in your area. Those are $60 to $70. Many of them 17 to 18 years old.
Oh, interesting.
And you're getting more age for less money. Oftentimes they're equal to or even higher proof than this. They kind of can get up around the high 90s to low 100 proof range. And I would buy one of those way before I bought this. And then if you really like it, then I think this is a different implementation or a different presentation of that same type of flavor. But I will say I like this better than a lot of the Dickel single barrels that I've tried. But some of the best Dickel single barrels that I've tried blow this thing completely out of the water.
And with single barrels, you never know what you're going to get. So it is a gamble. But
And this is a blended product, so there is some merit in that. But yeah, I mean, for $100, it's not quite as complex and rich as we would like it to be.
Yeah.
So I think the thumbs down rating holds true.
I
and
agree.
now I can look at that bottle on the shelf and feel comfortable leaving it for someone else.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that was helpful for you. If it was, go ahead and give us a little thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you
Yeah.
like honest content like this with no bias, because we can't be biased when we're tasting blind.
Yep.
And hit that bell down there if you'd like to join us for a live stream. We go live once a month here on YouTube, and we would love for you to join in. And that bell will let you know when we're going live, because the dates float around. It's always on a Sunday night, but usually later in the month, but sometimes earlier in the month. It just depends on our schedule.
Absolutely.
Also, check out the link in the video description to our Patreon community if you would like to be plugged into a really good community full of amazing people
Yeah.
who help each other out, find bottles, share samples, talk whiskey all dang day. I can't even keep up with it half
It's
the
a
time.
lot.
It is a incredible community
Yeah.
to be a part of. Glad they let me be in it. And yeah, check that out. That's also where we release our barrel picks. We've released a ton this year, and we've got a ton left still to come. I think we've released over 20 picks this year so far, and we have
That's wild.
over a dozen more. I think we have close to 20 more coming out in the coming months.
I feel
like 15.
I feel that we did that.
Yeah.
We did a lot of picks.
Yeah. And you can check out stuffandwhiskey.com if you'd like to get our shirts, merch,
Yep.
glassware, barware, candleware,
All kinds of stuff.
shirtwear, all kinds of
Headwear.
all kinds of wearables and wearers.
Yes.
Wares and wearables.
Oh my.
There we go.
Okay. All right. That's it for today. I'm cutting him off.
All right.
Thank you so much for being here. Be good to each other. And until next time.
Cheers. Struck by the dickle.
Oh, wow. That doesn't sound good. That sounds like you need to cut that out and put a little. You can have it. I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, surprise dickle is getting dickle blind is not.
Oh my gosh. Please stop.